Welcome to the wild side, where the truth can't hide. Savage, unfiltered, we rise. No filters, no alibis.
Notice why I said that twice. They ran a piece. Some idiot on social media. God, I'm not even because they don't deserve it. Some idiot put out a post where they're saying, see, President Trump wants illegal migrants to work.
Just street talk on this path we boldly walk. This ain't your grandpappy's old tune. We're the thunder beneath the moon. Diarrhea of the mind we unleash. Every story roars, it won't cease. Savage raw, unfiltered delight. We bring the chaos, we ignite. No apologies, just our luck. Step right up if you dare to buck. Feel every heartbeat, hear the clash. Living loud, it's a fiery bash. We won't sugarcoat, don't need a crutch. This is the real, it hits you hard like a punch. From the ashes, we rise and shout. Savage, unfiltered, there's no doubt. So take a seat and hold on
Everything.
tight.
Love.
I'm so flustered. You guys' jokes. I thought we were going to have a WWE between the both of you.
I'm gonna give him like the Stone Cold Stunner in a couple minutes if he doesn't behave.
Who's going to get the tombstone? Look at that.
Right?
Elon Musk, I have this to say to you on behalf of the American people. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's been incredible. I really appreciate it. Keep going. You can do it.
'50-year-old, that information in the database wrong, and they legitimately deserve checks, and we need to correct their age, or indeed is it fraud? Because over 18 million, this isn't a rounding error.
Savage, unfiltered.
Week on iHeartRadio, we take a look at a podcast called The Savage Unfiltered Show, hosted by Michael Gardner, a New York native now based in Florida. The show covers a wide range of topics, including politics, culture, science, films, mysticism, and interviews, often with a conservative and unfiltered perspective. Gardner discusses current events, societal issues, and personal anecdotes, frequently criticizing what he perceives as wokeism, government overreach, and leftist ideologies. The podcast features regular co-hosts like Raging Joe, along with various guests, including media personalities, political candidates, and cultural commentators. Hit that follow button for a wild roller coaster of a podcast on the iHeartRadio app.
iHeartRadio. So what's been on my mind? A lot of things. We're going to keep it short and sweet, though. A couple weeks back, I posted an episode, about a month back, I posted an episode from this guy, Eric. Eric and I had an amazing time. And we got one of the many things we talked about was intellectual exercise.
You out there? You listening?
Raw and unfiltered.
Joe was pulling out the drugs on the show, the prescription. Yeah. Throw that shit out the window, Joe, and get yourself some Live Rishi. I'm telling you. Guys, I'm not a big fan of medication, but I'm always stocked up with Rishi Bomb, especially the, little chap, lips, especially in Georgia. It's getting a little, cold here, And if you paid attention, my beard is kind of drying out a little bit because of the weather. It's starting to get a little cold. So every now and then I'll put a little Rishi Bomb on my lips, And it's great.
I was taking the pain pill
Welcome back to a podcast not like the rest, where we deliver nothing but savaged and uncut content.
Where did I go?
From a Lifestyle studio in Tampa, brings a show so raw and uncut, we mean
No filter on Savaged Unfiltered. Savaged.
Hey guys, what is up? What is up, guys? How the hell are you? I'm telling you guys, it's one of those days. Happy Tuesday to you guys. Happy Savage Streaming Day. All right, guys? We are Savaged Unfiltered, the diarrhea of the mind. So, hat tip to my good friend Boner out there for kind of coming up with the lyrics to that song. Appreciate it. And, he came up with two other songs, which we're going to feature another song here. His wife actually came up with, you're really going to enjoy that, damn near set on the topic here with the show. So I appreciate the hell out of those two individuals, including the other members of his band too, which we're going to bring on the show soon, guys. So you're going to want to check out that episode. But we got Joe, of course. Joe, right? Raging Joe.
What's up? I'm up. I'd rather still be in bed, but I'm up.
You're up, Joe. Why would you rather be in bed?
I don't know. I'm just tired, mentally and physically drained. As you know, I had my heart valve replacement surgery a while ago, and I looks like the gay pride flag down there: red, purple, black, blue, yellow. I'm still, because they go in through the groin, through the artery up to the heart. And it's like,
you're killing me, Joe.
Oh,
you're killing me. When is Joe not enough here on the show? My God.
TMI, right? TMI.
My God. But Joe, you got anything going on, man, besides the issues that you have with the rainbow flag, I guess?
Nope. This show, of course, doing great. My show, still, pissing people off there. Although a G-rated version, I'm still pissing people off with G language.
Hey, Joe, who are you pissing off this week? Anybody particular or no? You want to give out any names, or should we just kind of put it behind the curtain?
Well, a long list of people I blocked on Truth Social. Yeah, it's like, listen, if you can't right, it's like A Few Good Men movie. You can't handle the truth. If you can't fucking handle reality, the good, the bad, the ugly, it isn't always positive for our side. If you can't fucking deal in the reality, I called her a rah politislut rally groupie.
Oh my God.
Yeah, rally groupie, right? He's a man. I'm a man. We're all frail, imperfect. They can make mistakes. No one, including the former nincompoop, is above reproach or criticism, right? If you can't deal in reality and the truth all the time, get the fuck off my feed.
That's why we call him Raging Joe, guys. I mean, the rage comes out of him like literally within the first millimeter of a second, for God's sakes. But no, Joe, I get you, man. They can't deal in reality, right?
Yeah.
They have to make up this Alice in Wonderland delusional sitcom of their society where everybody is racist and bigots and all this other crap.
Well, I'm talking about people supposedly on our side are emotional, hysterical snowflakes also. They don't deal in facts and evidence. They're feelings. I'm glad they're on our side, but you're as bad as a leftard in your feelings. Facts don't care about your feelings, right? Yeah. If there isn't one thing you can think to disagree with Donald Trump on, you're a fucking retard
Oh, yeah.
because it's human nature. Spouses don't always agree. Twins don't always fucking agree. If you're not a thinker, you're a sheeple if you I don't care if it's Trump, the Pope, or or if you leftards Biden, if you, oh yeah, anything and everything they say, oh yeah, I'm on board. If you got no criticism whatsoever,
Yeah.
you're a sheeple. Like, I disagree with Trump on the penny thing. Eliminating the penny, real bad fucking idea. And I wrote about it on Substack. I won't go into
Yeah.
details here.
Yeah, I was gonna want you to go into details, but okay, well, we won't go into details. I mean, obviously, it's a big deal, right? I mean, but does
Well,
anybody use pennies anymore, Joe? I mean,
well, two quick points. Number
uh,
one, no, you are not going to fucking round up my taxes.
oh
If we
God,
eliminate the penny, everything will be rounded up to the next nickel.
yeah.
And then, oh,
No,
well,
you
nickels
got a
are
point.
expensive. Let's eliminate the nickel and round everything up to the next dime, then the next quarter. No, you're not fucking going to do that.
Oh
They're
boy.
not going to round down. No, you are not fucking eliminating the penny. I don't care if it costs $1.25 to make every fucking penny. No, no, no. And it's also unintended consequences.
Yeah.
Mark of the beast, idiocy, slippery slope argument. You eliminate to penny, we're way down the road to complete and only digital currency, and they can shut off your buying and spending anytime they like if there isn't paper and coin currency.
Joe, Joe, man, I'm telling you, you put him on the 5, dude. I don't know, like you and Gutfeld with like tag team on that show, man. Holy shit. I
Yeah,
get what you're
well,
saying though, Joe. I do. But yeah.
it's people have not thought it through. And I'm not calling anybody, I don't mean to say anybody stupid on this, and I'm certainly not calling Trump stupid on this. I just don't think anyone has explained the full problem of his current stance on it. If
Mhm.
I got 5 minutes with him, I bet I'd be able to talk him out of it. Make it out of tin and paint it copper. There are things we could do to bring down the cost of making a penny, not eliminating it. It's fucking stupid.
Mm. Eh,
People who support it aren't
yeah.
stupid. They're just not thought it all the way through yet.
Yeah, I mean, little things that we should be worried about. I mean, a penny, come on, we should be worried about more things. But I wanna I
Yeah.
wanna save some of that
Oh,
that
oh, oh!
topic here. Go
I
ahead,
dug
Joe.
up the whiteboard.
Go with his whiteboard again, for God's sakes.
Yeah, I finally dug up the whiteboard again. Savage sucks. Just kidding, people. I love you, brother. Love you, brother. But I find I had on Fox News and Rove was on again, and he dug out his whiteboard. I got
Oh,
to dig out my
oh,
whiteboard.
so that's who you stole it from. I knew who he was stealing it from something. No, no, no. I love you too, Joe. But guys, we have a God, take it down a notch, Joe, today. Jesus Christ. No, no, no,
And
no.
again, this is me without caffeine.
Yeah, I know, Joe. I know. You're not even on caffeine. Can you imagine if he was on coffee? Oh my God. Jesus. But no, guys, we have a fellow podcaster joining us, Ray doustdar. If I pronounced your last name, Ray, wrong, I do apologize. My pronunciation sucks, by the way. And before we bring Ray in, that's what you hear in the background, Joe breathing.
I was snorting on my Vicks inhaler.
Yeah.
No, not doing cocaine in the background.
Oh God, Joe.
Vicks inhaler.
No.
As I was telling holistic hypochondriac Michael here, this is just eucalyptus and what this is not Mr.
All right, Joe,
Holistic
we get it. We get it.
Hypochondriac. This
We
is
get
not a drug.
We get it, Joe. God, man. Anyway, guys, this is Ray doustdar from his show, Deep Shallow Dive Podcast. Welcome into the show, Ray. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, man, it's good to be here. Joe, I got to tell you something. You're a little bit unhinged, but in the best way possible. Seriously. And you know what? What you said about the penny, when I first heard that, I was like, who gives a shit? Who cares about the penny? Who uses a penny? But you know what? The concept of that being precedent for potentially the nickel, then the dime, dude, that's a interesting take. That is an
Yes.
interesting take.
How many times have we argued about the slippery slope? Fucking wake up. It applies to everything. And we have to be the thinkers in the room for the emotional, hysteric snowflakes who won't think about anything.
No, listen again. That's a great take. I mean, what I talk about all the time is like calling a spade a spade. And I think we're all aligned for the most part politically. But here's the thing, like you said, again, another great point. You're like, hey, if you don't have anything on Trump to criticize, you're a retard. And you are, because you can't be all in on any of these guys. You know, we've all heard Trump derangement syndrome, and I think half the country still probably has it. But I'll tell you what, and I think I kind of coined this phrase, there's a big chunk of the country that has Trump worship syndrome. And that Trump worship syndrome, if not kept in check, it's almost as bad. It's almost as bad.
It is as bad. I spoke out all the time about Obama zombies.
Yeah.
Right? If you wouldn't put up with it for Barack Obama, you're not principled. If you're a hypocrite, you're a liar, you're a fool, you're a sheeple. Hey, rah, 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 my guy. No.
Let me ask you guys something. What do you guys think about a couple weeks ago? There was all that discussion about like Trump running for a third term, and then it was like Obama running for a third term, Trump versus Obama. I did a poll on the Deep Shallow Dive Instagram, and I'll tell you, it was fucking refreshing. Like 77. I said, if Trump versus Obama 2028, would you vote Trump? Would you vote Obama, or neither? This is unconstitutional. And
what did it come up? Right.
76% of people said it's unconstitutional. And I loved that. I was like, thank God. Yeah. Same here.
What's wrong with the other 24%? They're not conservative. They're not constitutionalists. They are what I'm talking about. Hypocrite sheeple. Rah, 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 my side, my guy. No. Principles, not personalities. If you don't stand for it for Obama, you can't stand for it for Trump.
Yeah, I call it the Alice in Wonderland effect, because that's their delusion, right? Everybody's holding
down
a
their
blank
own rabbit hole.
Yeah. Everybody's holding a blank set of cards with like delusion written all over it, right? Oh no, Trump is going to get us into a tariff war with all these countries, and he's going to bankrupt America. I mean, come on, folks.
Exactly. It's like the guys that are the problem. Honestly, for me right now, Fox is CNN. I consider those two. I consider those two heads of the same fucking snake. You know what I mean? Like their entire MO, their entire business model is division. They want to create division. They're not going to give you nuance, and I feel like right now, I mean, honestly, guys like you guys like Tucker Carlson, Rogan, Candace Owens, I mean, even the Jake Shields of the world, like the podcasters are giving people nuance, and they're giving people, quite frankly, both sides of the story.
Right.
And that's what we need.
You heard my take on the penny. You've heard that nowhere else. No one else will give you the facts and the reality of it and the context like I did. And I go in more in my Substack piece on that. Right. But yeah, real news, faux news. I watched The Five and I watched Gutfeld at night. Other than that, I don't watch much of Snoozemax either, because every 45 minutes they're taking a 15-minute break to try to sell you more stock to line their pockets with money.
Hey, they got to cater to that crypto stuff, Judge. God, man.
Who's Snoozemax? What's Snoozemax?
Newsmax.
Oh, Newsmax. Yeah.
Joe comes up with like the cutest little names to all these like little like companies of entities. Like, hey Joe, what's CNN? right? You have a great name for CNN.
No, yeah, well, Communist News Network, but MSNBC, I call them the MSNB SEALs, MSNBCILES, right?
You should call them MSNB shills. Or is that what you said? Did you say sills
No,
or shills?
they're imbeciles.
Oh, imbeciles. Got it.
Yeah,
I think
but
they're
that
just big
work.
shills.
That works too. That works too.
What you writing on the board today, Joe?
I am.
He's writing up something, guys.
I'm
Yeah,
writing up.
I like that little board.
I'm writing up MSNB
sills.
SEALs.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
funny. That's funny. That's funny.
and snooze
Oh, God.
Max, because I forget the guy's name. I could picture him in my head, but he's no longer pretty much on the air. He's behind the scenes, but he has TDS every bit as much as some of the faux news and all at CNN and all the MSNBC SEALs and the pigs at The View have.
Yeah, hey, Joe, speaking of
so I watch OAN mostly.
Yeah, speaking of those networks, did you guys catch a glimpse of who replaced the latest anchor? What was it? Peppermint Patty? Did you see that, Joe?
Yeah.
Ever since Peppermint Patty, Jen Psaki came on to replace the other Nimrod, the ratings have been coming down like crazy.
Yeah,
like within the first week.
Circle backy Saki, yeah.
Yeah, circle back Isaki. Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. But like seriously, you got to call out everything on both sides. Like right now, this whole Qatar gifting Trump Air Force One. I'm not with that. I'm not with
problem.
That. It's a problem.
That's a problem.
And like forget the as people are like, oh, they're gonna wire it so they can eavesdrop on conversations. Okay, I mean, you could sweep for that. Oh, they're gonna set it up so like on the 20th flight it blows up. Okay, I'm sure they can guard against that. I don't see those. But what I don't like is the optics, man. It's like America's the strongest country in the world. Right. We're the biggest power in the world. Taking a gift like that, I mean, to me, it's like it's a sign of weakness, man.
I wanted it. Right. No, I agree with you. Again, principles, not personalities. If you wouldn't stand for Obama taking a plane from Iran, Ayatollahs, you can't fucking stand for this with Trump. And I wanted to joke with you. What are you, a Cleveland Browns fan with all this black and orange shit?
You know what? Actually, that's pretty funny because ironically, I did grow up in Cleveland. So I am I am from Cleveland.
So
I didn't do the deep shallow dive colors based on that, but maybe now that'll be my new story.
You were subconsciously influenced.
Maybe.
No, Ray, you got the whole Drew Carey shit going on, man, with the glasses. I love it, by the way.
Thank you.
At Cleveland, Ohio. He's from Cleveland.
Like Drew Carey.
Cleveland rocks. Cleveland rocks, right?
I was gonna pull out my suspenders for you guys, add a little touch of Larry King to the mix.
Oh, I met him once at a Don Rickles. Me and my now ex-wife, we saw a Rickles show in Vegas. I forget what casino it was. Larry King was literally 3 seats over from me in the same row with his young girlfriend.
Was
and
he really?
Rickles lit him up all night.
Oh,
and King,
great.
I earned a lot of respect for King because he was laughing his ass off. He understands you got to make fun of yourself, or you can't make fun of others.
Hey, laughter is the key medicine. I keep on telling people that, but humor is dead today in this country. People don't know how to laugh.
Can you imagine if Don Rickles, George Carlin, and Norm Macdonald, if we had the three of those guys today? Oh my God!
Hey, don't forget about George Carlin. Did you say?
I said George Carlin. Yeah, I said George.
Yeah,
Carlin.
talk about
Carlin was the OG. You can actually play George Carlin clips from 15, 20 years ago, and they are applicable right now. Like you could literally pretend the guy is still alive because they hit that hard.
I love how the left tries to claim him and use memes with him. He was a libertarian, you morons.
Yeah.
He was not a leftard.
I mean that should be the comedy Mount Rushmore, right? Carlin, Let's even put like Jeff Foxworthy, maybe
Yeah.
Ron White in there. Yeah.
Put
Who
Pryor
would
up
be
there.
the
Put
comedy Mount
Pryor up there with
Rushmore?
him.
Oh man, you'd have to go Carlin, Richard Pryor. I mean, I think Dave Chappelle's on there. I think
What
Chappelle's
was it?
Dave Chappelle. Dave
Benny,
Chappelle.
yeah, Benny, was it Luch? Oh, God Almighty! Even Carlin paid homage to him, and now I can't think of his name.
Mm.
Benny Luce,
Are
Benny
you talking
Bruce.
about Benny Hill?
Benny
No,
Hill.
not
Oh,
Benny Hill.
oh,
Lenny Bruce.
okay.
Lenny Bruce.
Lenny Bruce.
Yeah. No, that should be the literally the comedy Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
Oh,
seriously.
you know what? I'd throw Zappa up there too because of
Zappa.
the song parody
Oh, okay.
comedy he always
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, I hear you. So Ray, talk
Give
about
me
Oh
your
God, here
dirty
we go again with
love.
fucking Joe singing. God, Joe. Smole, you know the company Smole, the app? They wouldn't you wouldn't even, they couldn't even fix your voice, Joe, with the filters they have.
Joe.
Yeah, I need I need Cher's producer, right? Use that auto tune. Do you believe in life after
Oh
love?
my
Oh
gosh.
man. Oh man. Dude, Savage is truly unfiltered. This show.
I'm telling you, we got to bring Joe down a notch. He's at a 10. We got to bring him down to a 5 sometimes.
No,
No.
this goes to 11.
And this is no
For the
caffeine, huh, Joe?
Spinal Tap fans. Yeah, this is no Coke, no caffeine. This is me. I have good bursts. I can do right. I have chronic fatigue
Hey,
immune
Joe.
dysfunction system. After this show, I'll need a nap. I'll be spent.
Hey, Joe. I have to overtalk Joe sometimes because he can't even hear me sometimes. That's how fucking loud he is sometimes. No. When we go up to Pittsburgh in August, Joe, like I gotta warn the producers and the camera crew about you when they put you on because Joe's gonna be joining us digitally, through the little Zoom camera that they have set up there. I'm gonna tell them about you, like where they have to sometimes cut you out a little bit. Don't be mad, but fucking Joe, man.
Yeah, make sure to moderate. Right, you don't want my mic at 10. You right.
You know what,
Joe, let me ask you a serious question. What's going on with your heart? Like you have a pacemaker in there? What do you got
No,
going on there?
last month I went in for tests to prepare for a heart valve main aorta replacement
Okay.
surgery, and they put a stent in because
Mhm.
they discovered an artery 80% blocked. But a couple weeks ago, I had in through the groin, the TAVR heart valve replacements. They don't have to rip open the chest anymore, thank God. But yeah, I had that done because I had a congenital heart defect since birth. Heart issues run on my dad's side of the
Mm.
family. So I had a leaky main valve and that had to be replaced. So
Did you
yeah.
start to experience symptoms? Like, did you
Oh,
start to have
oh,
symptoms?
oh, big time. The shortness of breath.
Mm.
I can't walk up and down even my basement stairs without having to stop and go,
Wow.
That's all solved now,
nah,
thanks.
that's
I couldn't even walk down my block without stopping 3
And
times
they
for a break.
attributed that to the valve, not necessarily the blockage of the arteries?
Correct. That was a
Okay.
valve issue. The blood wasn't flowing properly because they explained it like this. Your main aorta valve is kind of like a 3-leaf clover.
Mhm, mhm.
It's not actually, it's one valve, but it's kind of 3 parts. And 2 of the 3 leaves were fused together, and therefore it wasn't working properly.
so what's a healthy leaf? If I gotta put some humor into it, I
It
mean,
was,
what would my
yes,
leaf be? Obviously, I
3
don't have.
3-leaf clover, yes.
Okay, so I should
Yeah.
have a 3-leaf
Well
clover in my
well,
heart, is what you're saying.
that would be if you had a heart. We all know you don't have a heart.
That's hilarious.
He walked himself into that one.
I do it all the time on this show. I mean, I'm a walking, like, plank with Joe here with jokes. No. No, I wanna talk a little bit about, your show here. Obviously, we're kinda putting some mixture of politics in, and I
Yeah.
appreciate Joe for bringing that in 'cause, that's Joe's vocabulary. He's a walking dictionary of, politics. So no, tell us a little bit about your show, Ray, and how the hell did you get into the industry, man?
Well, you know what, man? For me, honestly, it all started with COVID for me. And literally that day, March 13th, 2020, when I forget who it was. I don't know if it wasn't Trump. I don't think it was Fauci, but whoever that person was that said, "Hey, don't leave your house." That was when I was like, what the fuck? Like, don't
Yeah.
leave my house.
This isn't the Spanish flu. Give
Yeah,
me a
exactly.
break.
Exactly. And I'm not kidding. Like that day was the impetus to the podcast. It was the impetus to the book. It's really the impetus to everything I'm doing. And quite frankly, that all sums up in just trying to wake people up and, calling a spade a spade. I mean,
I love
kind of
that,
like
by the
you
way.
guys
Yeah.
do.
Amen.
Yeah.
Like what
I
you
love
guys do.
I love how you put that little catchphrase in there, calling a spade a spade. Is that coming
Oh,
from
he's racist. That's all racist.
No, it's not racist, Joe. No. God damn, Joe.
Yeah, I couldn't resist, right?
No,
But
you
no,
you can't
he's
resist. Yeah.
attempting to awaken people from their woke stupor, as
Yeah,
we
yeah,
do.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know, the left is going to hate you, so they're going to say calling a spade is
No,
racism
I'm
somehow.
kind of curious on how that came about, Ray. What that
Yeah.
whole saying, like,
I'll tell
where'd
you.
that
I'll
come
tell you
from?
how the whole thing came out. So the day when COVID started, I was different, man. All of a sudden, I'm uber aware of everything that's going on, right? And
Mm.
so I start posting, not snarky stuff on Facebook and Instagram, but like thought provoking stuff. And it started out with posting.
Mm.
It went to then I wanted to have a little more long form. So I started posting stories. So the story gave you, 4 or 5 slides in order to talk about, like, the perfect example would be going to a restaurant and then you're basically have to put a mask on when you stand up, but then you sit down. So you're 24 inches lower, and then it's okay to take the mask off.
Yeah, COVID doesn't exist below 5
Exactly.
feet, right?
Exactly.
Hello,
Exactly.
stupid. And
Hello.
100 plus years of mask science
You know,
out the window.
I
And
still can't.
N95 is a
Yeah.
95 for a reason. The
Yeah.
Wuhan hysteria particle is
Yeah.
so small it goes through an N95. So that
Joe.
cloth mask is worthless, moron.
Hey, Joe, I still can't get over how people are still wearing them. Like,
Yeah,
even in
I
my neck of the
know.
woods, like I see people wearing them in the supermarkets, like grocery stores, all this. Like, what are you wearing? Like, even your cult leader Fauci says that the K95 or whatever the fuck it was is
N95,
not.
yes.
I don't care what the hell it is, Joe. Whatever number it has at the end of it, like it doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's not going to prevent you from getting COVID. So
The
what the hell's the point?
the particulate size micron is smaller than the N95 filters out.
Mm.
This is 100 plus years of science journals tell us this. It
Yeah.
didn't
Yeah.
change when Wuhan hysteria came along.
No, but it shows
morons,
you how quick people will fall in line.
yes.
Oh, yeah.
You inject fear into the system and people will fall in line. So for
yeah.
me, that progression was posting on Instagram and Facebook, stories on Instagram and Facebook. And then by that time, and I'm not kidding, I did that probably from 2020 to like 2022
Holy
for a
shit.
good 2 years. And then just every time I'd post something, I'd have friends be like, dude, start a podcast. These are great.
Everybody's starting a
These are
podcast
great."
nowadays.
Yeah.
Like everybody has a message. Everybody has, certain linger they want to air and everything else. But I
But
want to get
again, it's not even about,
Yeah.
how do I want to say this? It's just about getting people to think for themselves, getting people to think critically. And like, honestly, like when I'm all about agreeing, disagreeing, but my favorite is to agree to disagree. Like that's totally cool, but think about it for yourself. So I started the podcast in, August of 2023. And, man, it's nice. It's a good way to kind of connect with an audience. It's a good way to kind of inject thought-provoking things into the mix. And that's really what I've been trying to do. And then from there, I had friends say like, "Oh, you should write a book. You should write a book." And I think you've written a book, so you understand.
Oh,
That's
several.
dude, that's a
Yeah.
beast of a process. That's a beast of a
Oh, it is. It
process.
is a beast of a process, but you know, a lot of people using the AIs that cheat, and I want to get into
Yeah.
that. I want to get into that with the book processing with you. I also want to get into these pillars with you too, because you have
Yeah.
a set of pillars, right? But we're gonna get into that, guys. But I gotta get a quick break here. A couple little guys that make this possible with this show. I want to say thank you to Blackout Coffee, guys. That's right. You see them on the upper right hand corner logo of our show here. They are our exclusive sponsor here for the show. And those guys are great guys, literally. They are literally America's conservative coffee, right? I mean, they are literally coffee for America's warriors. Guys, for checking them out today, we're going to give you a promo code for 15% off your order at checkout using the promo code SAVAGED, okay? Now, if you're not well aware of Blackout Coffee, you should be aware because they are a non-woke company. And what I mean by that, guys, is they don't cater to a certain background, a certain label. None of that, guys. They are coffee for everyone. All their products are pretty much patriotic. 2A Guns and Gadgets. If you guys are, pro Second Amendment advocates, that's great. You're out in the woods, you're hunting with your buds, right, or your family. You need a little, Joe to pick you up, right? A little coffee, right? Sip some 2A Guns and Gadgets, all right? Another one, my favorite, guys, 2A. Well, I said that. I'm so ahead of myself today. Another one, Brutal Awakening, guys, right? So much labels. I mean, they're great. I love them. So thank you very much. Hat tip and shout out to John down there in South Florida for making this company possible. And it's backed by veterans, guys. That's right. A company ran and operated by veterans. Which I want to kind of plug towards the end of the show about veterans because we're going to have an individual, a TikTok personality, coming on the show that's an advocate for veterans. So, that's great and dandy. But kind of back to the show. So Ray, I want to get into this this pillar stuff with you.
Yeah. Yeah. The pillars came about. So like I start writing the book and, the book for me was like all about having an authentic relationship with yourself. And I'll be honest, I know that sounds cheesy as fuck, but it's kind of not because this whole process of like podcasting and this process of, it honestly takes guts to put your real opinions on the internet. It absolutely does. It takes balls to like put yourself out there. And as I started putting myself out there more and more in terms of the podcast, in terms of being a little more aggressive on what I was posting and really posting my views. And then when I started writing the book, I wanted it to be almost like a guide to help people have this authentic relationship with themselves. And these 4 pillars kind of came about naturally because it all centered around authenticity for me. It's like I try to be an authentic person, whether I'm on the air or I'm off the air. The other one, the second pillar is really self-awareness. I think that's the one that's lacking in politics and quite frankly, with so many people online, like having the ability to be self-aware of
self-reflection.
Yeah, exactly. Reflecting. And then also just like realizing at the end of the day, dude, we're all the same. Everybody is a human being and you need to understand that. And that really leads to empathy. I mean,
that's my favorite one.
Yeah,
Ray,
I love that
empathy.
one.
Yeah, the empathy and the self-awareness. Those are my 2 favorite pillars you got,
Yeah.
Authenticity is important because honor, integrity is lost these days. People don't have any respect because they don't earn it because they're not authentic.
Yeah.
And are each of the 4 of those a chapter in your book? They should be, and you need my How to Write a Book and Get It Published.
Where was that thing?
At Amazon and everybody else. You said, hey, start your own podcast. They need my podcasting quick start guide.
Oh, I love it.
Available at Amazon.
Damn. Should have had those. I should have had those before I did the 2 of those.
Joe has a book for just about every topic in the world. I mean,
that's hilarious. And then the fourth one is resilience. I mean, you've got to be resilient in this day and age,
Amen.
especially if you want to be, a social media persona, because again, it doesn't matter what you say, you're going to get attacked. You're absolutely going to get attacked. You could say one thing and then say the exact opposite the next day, and you'll still get attacked from both directions.
Got to have a thick skin. Yes.
Yeah. So the pillars for me, they just keep me grounded. They're not each a chapter in the book. Instead, the book has a chapter on how to be authentic with yourself, with your family, with your business, how to be authentic with politics. And then all of those chapters kind of come back to the pillars, and I give people, I just give you shit to think about. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't some guru type stuff. This isn't any of that.
This
It's
is
just
great.
common sense.
Great, right. Common sense and food for thought. You're not telling anyone how to think, but think about these things and become a logic, reason based, not an emotional, hysteric snowflake person.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, here's the thing, this, the snowflake and the woke left and all that. I mean, again, I completely agree. And the country was headed in a very, very terrible direction with that. But again, we've got to be careful about this Trump worship stuff, because
absolutely.
We can't, it's almost like we cannot go from one extreme to the other extreme, like that just can't happen, because if that happens, we're really no better off. So for example, I mean, this whole Qatar $400 billion plane, it's a perfect example. Everybody should be unified in saying, hey, this is ridiculous. Like this is bad optics. This is not what we should be doing.
Well, I love the fact that you have these pillars, and we put a graphic up here on the screen. The 4 pillars rule, right? With you, I think there's 4, right? So wow, right. Well, our graphic matches your principle pretty much. But I mean, these should be the 4 pillars of life, right?
Yeah,
and everyone should pretty much live by that, more or less.
Hey,
I mean,
Ray,
you can apply these to anything that's going on. I'll tell you, the empathy one is kind of my favorite as well. And I'll be very honest, man. I'll be very honest. That one has really honed in for me as I've watched what has taken place in Gaza. Again, wherever you net out on that issue, you cannot watch that stuff on. If you watch that stuff on your phone for the past 18 months and you don't feel empathy, you're a fucking animal. Like that is, you are a fucking animal.
Hey, Ray, I've got an example on your authenticity. I'd like to take it a little different.
Sure.
Having values and principles, as I said, but that does not mean being completely inflexible and unmoving. Compromise is okay. For example, I'm as anti-tax as they come. Therefore, I've always been anti-tariff. But hey, what do you want? To declare war on China and get in a military conflict? Tariffs are a tool we must use. So I give Trump grace on that. Otherwise, I would oppose him normally on that. But authenticity doesn't mean complete inflexibility.
No, absolutely. And like the tariff's a great example. And I want to get your opinion on this. So like, I'll support the tariff process as well. But here's the question. Instead of like coming at the tariffs the way he did, what if he had said, hey, we're going to meet country by country, and we're going to give every country 90 days. 90 days is nothing. It's 3 months. It's 3 months in the first year of the presidency. Even 120 days is nothing. What if he said, we're going to meet country by country, we're going to give you 90 to 120 days. At the end of that, we expect, the seesaw to be balanced a little bit better. If you don't balance it, then we're going to rain hellfire on you.
Yeah.
I'm down with that.
Well, that's optics again.
Yeah,
Optics,
Joe,
right?
one second. I want to answer this. Joe, I love you, buddy. Like giving you too much airtime. Let me step in a little bit, But no. I think that the whole tariff decision under President Trump is important and it's beneficial for our economy. Okay, even though the naysayers are saying it's going to bankrupt our economy, for simple reasons they don't understand the two definitions of recipient tax and the tariffs that come along with it as well too. It's going to jumpstart our economy. More or less. I mean, Joe would. I mean, you would agree with that, Joe. I mean, we've
Yeah,
talked about that many times on the show.
and I understand where Ray's coming from, but that's not the authentic art of the deal. Trump, right? He's the bombastic.
Yeah.
I tell you in public, I'll launch the first salvo and we're going to get it done. I don't have 10 years. I only have 4. So I give him grace on the way he's doing it too.
Well, Joe,
And
the way he's
Dow
doing
hit
it,
42. The
yeah.
Dow hit over 42, and the
yeah, without
left
a
is
doubt.
silent. The left is silent.
I
Yeah,
mean, let me ask you this though, like when you have this tariff discussion, I'll tell you what's not happening is, look at it's the US companies. We're not buying Chinese brands. We're buying American brands that are made in China. So the question is,
Yeah.
why are we not busting Apple's balls to say, hey, and by the way, these grandiose statements that get made where the companies have committed to 500 billion over the next 4 years. Pay attention. Everyone from Apple to the Saudis to Samsung to everybody, they always give themselves a runway. They say over the next 4 years. Why do they do that? Because if by year 3.5 they're seeing the country's not happy and it's going to shift back over to Democrat, they're just going to back out. You see what I mean?
Well, here's the problem with that, Ray. People have become so accustomed, like you just mentioned, products in China, right? People have become so used to and conditioned to buy shit off of Temu and sadly Amazon that a lot of these companies do business with places like China and Taiwan and all these other countries. So who's benefiting more? Those countries are benefiting more, not the United States, not us.
The corporations in the United States are. I mean, look at Apple. I mean, look at the wealth that they've created. Look at Amazon. Look at big tech has created wealth for big tech. You see what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
but
I'm
talking about the wealth that the other countries, sure, Amazon, Temu, Walmart, all those companies, they're benefiting off the ass right now with production wise with the products. But
I buy through Amazon, but I yell at my sister all the time. I call her the Temu queen. You gotta stop buying that cheap shit from China.
Yeah. I mean, the problem is even if you're buying from Amazon, it's coming from China. So how different is it really? I mean, honestly, how different is it really?
But what's the problem with manufacturing here in the United States? What's the problem with making products in the United States?
That's the solution. That's the solution.
Hey, Ray, I think you will agree with me. You're anti-regulation. We want government to butt out. The left fascist loves federal dictates. But I say the label laws exist. So I want to use them. I want now a 1 inch by 1 inch flag of origin on every product. Not buried on the back, made in China. No, I want a 1 inch CCP flag on that product, a US flag on a Vietnam flag, a UK flag. I want people to know, not have the excuse, oh, I didn't know it was coming from there. You have a choice. We are free markets. You have a choice. You can buy it from China or you could pay a little more and buy it from US, but no longer this excuse, I didn't know bullshit.
Yeah, I'm with that. I mean, you go back to arguably the greatest Republican president of all time, Ronald Reagan, right? Arguably Ronald Reagan's greatest Republican president, greatest president even of all time.
Never had a Republican Congress though. Only 2 years in the Senate.
But what was his stance on tariffs? He was very anti-tariffs. He
Yep.
was absolutely anti-tariffs. So again, my point is when this tariff conversation, there's more to it. There's more nuance to it than the way it's been handled.
But it is true before the 16th Amendment, we were all tariff.
Oh yeah. What was media? What was the media outlets talking about when Obama and Bill Clinton were, mixing it up with the tariffs? Right? They weren't there talking about it.
No.
Of course not.
Biden kept a lot of the tariffs Trump put in place, and again, they were silent about it.
Of course, they were
because
silent.
they're hypocrites.
Clinton's take on tariffs is exactly
Yeah.
the same as Trump's. And now I will say this for Trump. He has been saying this for 40 years. Like the dude has not changed his position.
I don't
on
understand, Ray, where, more or less they're just saying it now. Like, oh, Trump is going into tariffs and all. No, Trump's mindset with tariffs, like you just mentioned, has been like this even since the 80s.
Yeah. You can see interviews of him on Oprah where
Barbara
he's
Walters as well, too.
Walters.
Yeah.
It's
Again,
like Smoot-Hawley, right? It is like taxation, tax rates. The Laffer curve applies. Too little, bad. Too high, bad. You've got to find that sweet spot in the middle.
I call it the seesaw effect. You got to have that seesaw effect where everything is centrally balanced, right? Because if you have too much heavy rocks on one side, well, you're going to go down and you're going to stay down. It's just the way it is.
My only point with that to close out on the tariffs is, I think that could have been done in a more stair-stepped approach. Again, you tell the American people, hey, we've met country by country. We're giving them 3 months to clean up their act, to change it, and to rebalance the cards a little. If they don't accomplish it within 3 months, then do whatever you need to do. Raise the tariff to 200% if you want. But again, it's like right out the gate, I felt that shock that came into the economy, and that's been part of the economy for the past, really for the past 100 days. I don't think that was necessary. I think we can get to where we're going to get to without having to have put a significant amount of Americans through the pain they're at for the past 100 days. I mean, yes, egg prices has come down a little bit, but gas really hasn't. I mean, I put gas in at Costco yesterday for, I think, $4.89, and I'm here in California, and that's not that much better.
To comment on that real quick, because we're losing time here with Ray, folks. There is a significant amount of difference, Ray, with the cost of fuel in certain states. I've noticed that. Here, I reside both in Florida and Georgia. All right. But I go back and forth for my little line of work with entertainment. But I mean, even in Florida and Georgia, I've noticed the gas is well under $3. In some sections as low as $2.35, $2.40. Now you're paying $4-something an hour, and I mean $4-something an hour, $4 a gallon. And California, right? I love that. California, right? I mean, seriously.
I mean, you're right. California probably is an anomaly along those lines. I mean, we do have nice weather, though. That's pretty much it these days.
Well, we have nice weather in Florida, but we're not paying $4 a gallon.
That's very true. That's very true. But I'm telling you, man, everybody just call a spade on everybody. And another thing that I really try to advocate for is, judge the take, man. Judge every take. Like, I mean, here's what's funny. If you've paid attention to Marjorie Taylor Greene the past week, I mean, Marjorie Taylor Greene is saying some shit that I can't even believe.
Oh yeah, now they're saying she's going against the Republicans. I mean,
I don't think she is. This stuff is signed off on. Marjorie Taylor Greene, Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz is making the rounds on podcasts, and again, on the surface, they're saying stuff that you're very surprised they're saying.
He was just walking through the halls there in the prison in El Salvador.
I will take Matt Gaetz over Marjorie Taylor Greene any day of the week, though. MTG is AOC with an R by her name. She's good at spewing shit.
I love that. Exactly. It's like Marjorie Taylor Greene and AOC. They're Fox and CNN to me. Again, partisan politics, man. Partisan politics. Partisan politics, I say partisan politics are 2020. Anyway, man, this has been great, guys. I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah. But, before we leave, if we can plug anything, guys, I highly encourage you guys to jump over to Amazon. We've been kind of posting it here in the broadcast, and get some of his books. You have a selected amount of books through that label, Deep Shallow Dive Into You. I noticed some books, but if you click this QR code, guys, it's going to go right to his main author page on Amazon. Check it out, guys. It's available now.
Yeah.
A lot of great stuff. Yeah.
Well, I got to give Ray a parting shot, though, on the way out. Pick a side. Are you deep or are you shallow, you hypocrite?
I love that. You know what? I'm deep and shallow at the same time. But I'll tell you what, I dive in. I absolutely dive in. Guys, this has been a blast, man. I'll have to come back on. I've really enjoyed this.
I appreciate the hell out of it, guys.
And your graphics team is legit, man. Your graphics team is legit.
I like that. You're hitting your head on the shallow end of the pool because you're deep.
There you go.
Diving in. Yeah.
There you go.
No. Check him out, guys. He's also available on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, or anywhere you hear an audio podcast for that matter. Deep Shallow Dive podcast with Ray Doustdar. Yeah. Appreciate it, Ray. Thanks.
All right, guys. Stay savage. Stay
savage. All right, buddy. All right. So basically, yeah. I give credit to Ray, guys, for keeping up with Joe, because there's not a lot of people that can keep up with you. He was keeping up with you today, man.
Now I've got the Madonna song in my head, Ray of Light. He is indeed like a ray of light. And indeed, yeah, somebody who could give me a run for my money, huh?
A lot of people
Raging Joe. Or I was less Jokester Joe and more Raging Joe today. Yeah.
Yeah. Your raging has gone to another level. It really has. But
this goes to 11 for all the Spinal Tap.
Yeah, Spinal Tap. Yeah, but guys, I gotta close out the live stream. I gotta make some room for another recording. I'm doing a quick little recording. So, thanks for dropping by, guys. If you missed this live stream and it's live format, don't worry, guys. We're gonna plaster it on our website. We do have the website. It is still up in the soft launch. We should have the official domain next week.
Oh, no, I got a suggestion. Don't use the word plaster. We got to Gorilla Glue it because we got to get Gorilla Glue to be a sponsor.
I'm telling you, if anything, Spotify hears this show all the time. So Spotify, did you hear that? We need Gorilla Glue, buddy.
Gorilla Glue.
Yeah, but guys, if you missed it, like I said, just head over to our website, Savaged Unfiltered .com, right, /WordPress. We will get rid of the WordPress because we're actually going through WordPress next week. So next week it will be SavageUnfiltered.com. So just bear with us, guys, as we're making some serious changes to the show. Joe constantly changing formats with us, but he's also telling me that got to get that Savage Unfiltered website back up in the air. So it is going to be making possible.
And hi, Savaged Army up.
Yeah, it's always up, Joe.
Gotta get your roar mug. Restore our We've had enough change. No more fundamental transformation of America. Roar. And I'm not talking Katy Perry softcore porn video fanboyism. Restore our American republic.
That's right, guys. We gotta restore this republic because it's now or never. But guys, I'm Savaged. This is Raging Joe. We call him Joseph M. Leonard. Thanks very much, guys, for tuning in.
Vic's not Coke. Vic's not Coke.
That's right. He's not doing cocaine on the show. For all the people probably on standby with the with the mental health delusionals.
Media Matters will be attacking our show and me again. Yeah. Oh, Dan Coke over there. Yeah. Oh my God, people.
Killing me. You're killing me.
This had been a Truth Productions media episode. Thank you for listening.